Yatha Pindate, Tatho Brahmande. Whatever is in the microcosm is in the macrocosm. If there's a sky outside, there is a sky inside. If there's a tree outside, there's a tree inside. And I think if there is a Ganga outside, there must be a Ganga inside. And the idea is to travel to that Ganga, to travel to that place, which we can't see but we feel. But how does one go to a place like that?
The idea came about creating this differentiated imagery of Shiva and getting that to Varanasi. Varanasi because Varanasi is Shiva's Nagri. It is an absolutely magnificent city, and the energy here, the spiritual energy here, is very special to me. Being involved in the art scene and just meeting with artists regularly, I've been thinking of a concept for Banaras where we could do something with a group of artists or a artist which fits into the ethos and the daily workings of the city. And nothing better than Shiva.
That day when I was walking on the ghats, I started to think about these stories where they would mention all these sages immersed in deep tapasya, a very intense penance, and how the ants would build antlers on top of their bodies. I felt in the same moment that if the river is meditating, how would the river look? How would it be? And I've tried to capture that in my sketches. With my imperfections intact in it, I've tried to capture a part of this imagination which travels through me. A lot of that vision is so vivid in my mind, and I keep feeling that what I create as my painting is a small reflection of it. It's not as profound as the way it comes in my mind. But at the same time, it's my way of creating something in which not only me, but everyone else, other seeker ants, or everyone else out there can see their own reflections of the same dream I'm having. So I was constantly reading along while making the initial sketches for Sadhak Shiva. There was more color in my sketches. I was trying to represent different spiritual energies which come out of different chakras. And for some reason, one night I dreamt of a blue sky, and it felt for some reason that I was inside an ocean looking at the base of where it ends. It was sort of surreal, and I woke up and I just decided that maybe I should create the whole painting in blue, which might represent Shiva immersed in a place where the ocean ends and other worlds meet. To have him on the boat was such a magical coincidence. In the night, the edges of the sky and the Ganges would blur, and it would seem that he's meditating, and that Shiva is suspended in the air like a tapasvi, and everything else around him has become dark, and only he's illuminated from inside.
The project has been very organic. I did not know where we will be displaying what. I was here 2 days before the project officially started, looking at locations, and there was also a possibility that people might just tell us to move away. So I thought of that possibility, and I was like, you know what, if someone tells us to move away, we'll just move ahead, because it's a long ghat.
In the Samudra Manthan painting, the challenge was that the painting would get created over a course of 5 days and will move from one ghat to the other, and will start from Asi Ghat and will end at Manikarnika Ghat, which is the burning ghat. So you begin the painting and you end the painting symbolically. It was sort of journeying from one end to the other for 7 days. And it depicts the story of the churning of the ocean, where 9 gems or forces of life come out. But the poison is the first which comes out and starts to destroy the universe. No one but Shiva takes it upon himself to drink it and clean the ocean. I felt that this story had a very deep message to it in our present context. Maybe like Shiva, we should try to clean the ocean, I felt. But I refrained from making it too obvious. And in the course of making the painting on the ghat for 6-7 days, I was pleasantly surprised at how the subtext came alive when people and sadhus started to feel the vibe from the painting itself of Shiva as a protector of nature and rivers. And they started to talk about it, they started to ask me questions whether that was my intention, whether I wanted to communicate that like Shiva we should clean the rivers and the ocean. And that was fascinating for me, and I was very happy that something which I thought that the story could communicate about the river Ganges, that started to come alive as I started to progress with the work from day 1 to day 7. Working on these paintings has been about investigating certain mystical ideas. Shiva as a yogi who's meditating to understand the interface of the mind and the body is a common theme across all works. I look at pranic understanding as a technology, and there are more chakras than 7, I believe, in an ocean, and so does in a mountain. So working on these paintings has been a way for me to represent some of these pranic mysteries through Shiva.
This has been a very, very interesting project. It has been a public art project, and a public art project that has actually reached out to the public. It has gone to ground zero. People who've taken these postcards and calendars from us, they have actually displayed them in their shops. They've displayed them like any other picture of a god. They've put it alongside the existing pictures that they have of Shiva in their altars, in the small altars that they've made in their shops. And so the Shiva has been put there, and now it's going to be worshipped in the same way as another image. There's been a fantastic response. People have come up, all sorts of people have come up. They have looked at Shiva, they've admired the Shiva, they have critiqued it, they've spoken about it, they've spoken to the Shiva, they have worshipped it, they've prayed to it, and they have been very, very welcoming to us. And it has been actually a humbling experience